All right, Living Hope. Pastor John and I are in the streets of Boston, Massachusetts, asking people on the street if there was one thing that they could change in their life or their world, what would that one thing be? And what can we all do to help that become a reality in all of our lives?
Pollution.
No more war.
All right, if you could change one thing in your life or in our world, what would that one thing be?
Oh, sweet Jesus. Greed. Get rid of greed.
All right, and what's one thing that you think could happen to reduce the amount of greed in our world?
You know, if I knew that, I'd be in political office or something. I don't know.
I know.
I'd take some more vacation time.
Well, I think my life is pretty good. I think I would like to see more. I would like to see the middle class being bigger. I like the middle class to be bigger than the upper or lower class.
All right. And what's one thing you think could happen to make that a reality in our lives?
A better distribution of wealth. I think it all depends on politicians.
If there was one thing that you could change about your life or our world, what would that one thing be?
I would have to say I would insist upon every variation of human species mandatorily having to go to the zoo and yell at the monkey cage.
All right.
That's the one thing I would change about our world. And I would then mandate further that people in places of importance, especially individuals that have come to violate what our country is based on as per a cyclical social direction, thinking that there's some hierarchical type of lineage in establishing a place in government, for instance, and then thinking it's some birthright from there on, that those people would not only have to go to the zoo and yell at the monkeys, but would have to do so every week with a bullhorn just to get money to campaign.
All right.
Then,
well, what's one thing that you think could happen to make this a reality?
if I had one of those new EMF lightning guns and I made everybody eat Twinkies.
If there was one thing that you could change about your life or our world, what would that one thing be?
Housing.
Housing?
Yeah.
All right. And what's one thing you'd like to see happen that could make that a reality so that more people could afford housing?
More housing for people to come out of pre-release.
Okay.
Coming out of jail.
More time to relax.
Okay. And what's one thing we could all do to help that to become a reality in our world?
Get paid more, work less.
And if I could change one thing about our world or my life in general, next time I plan a trip, I would use a travel agency and not Pastor Chad and John.
I guess just in general, if there's a way we could change the way people treated each other in general, because I feel like most people are probably not inherently good people trying to help other people.
If you could change one thing about your life or our world in general, what would that one thing be?
Nuclear warfare.
Nuclear warfare? All right. And what's one thing that we could all do?
And everyone just get along.
And what's one thing you think we all could do to help that to become a reality?
Probably get more sleep at night and just say please and thank you and be a little kinder to everybody else.
If you could change one thing about your life or about our world, what would that one thing be?
Talk to God.